Station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
We are ready for the event.
Houston ACR, this is Mission Control Houston. Please call station for a voice check.
Station, this is Houston ACR. How do you hear me?
I have you loud and clear. How about me?
Loud and clear. Please stand by for opening remarks.
Hello, my name is Griffin Willard. I'm with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Greater Wyoming. We are America's largest youth mentoring organization. This is one of our summer programs, and here's our first question.
My name is Cora. How much water have they found on Mars?
And the question was, how much water did you find on Mars?
Yeah, we know that Mars is basically a cold and dry planet with only about a very thin atmosphere, but on either pole they do have ice caps, and they hold significant amounts of water. We also think that there's a significant amount of water below the surface of the planet. So there's water on Mars. Getting there and getting to it is another issue entirely.
My name is Cade. Can you see Jupiter and what does it look like?
Jupiter, as we know, is a planet, and it looks like a very bright star to us, just as it does on Earth. Up here in the space station, we're only a couple hundred miles further away from the Earth than you are. So we're not that much closer to any star or planet, but things are a little bit brighter because there is no atmosphere.
My name is Allison. What is the coolest thing you've seen in space?
Allison, the coolest thing I've seen in space are other people. Just amazing to think that there's basically 7 of us living up here all the time in space. And that wasn't true when I was your age. It's only in the past 23 years almost that we've been continuously living in space.
My name is Sadie. How do you sleep in space?
And Sadie, I sleep great in space. And sleep is so important. You really want to make sure you've got a good night's sleep on Earth, in space, wherever you are, because it makes your day that much better. And I actually sleep about an hour more in space than I do on Earth. Basically, I have no idea why. It's just very comfortable for me to sleep up here.
My name is Brock. What happens if you spill liquid in space?
Okay, so if you spill liquid in space, here's the first thing. This is how we drink our water, drink our drinks. It's in a bag like this. And that's the first thing you should know. So there's no upside down, there's no right side up around here. But water or a liquid will do this. Let me see if I can get this big enough you can see it in space. And that's what happens when you spill liquid in space. Kind of ends up all over the place. Fortunately, we have towels.
My name is Tessa. Why do astronauts go to space?
And we go to space to conduct research. And in this environment, where it's a microgravity environment due to the fact that we're continuously falling, we're really investigating sort of the basic principles of many, many portions of the world, whether it be metallurgy or biology or whatever. It's just a great place to test out things. In addition, we're learning a lot about our own physiology and the own human body. So we go to space to conduct research, to make life better on Earth.
My name is Macy. Do they put heaters and fans in spacesuits?
It's kind of funny, but we actually tend to try and cool ourselves more in our spacesuits when we're doing EVAs. We actually have a liquid cooling garment that flows cool water all around your body while you're outside in space, because your body generates heat as it works. And so you're really kind of combating that. In the space station, we have heaters on the shelves to keep the modules at a very steady temperature. But in general, we're radiating our energy out into space. We try and cool the station. So it's this balance between heating and cooling that you need to achieve to live in space.
My name is Allie. What is your favorite snack in space?
Let's see. My favorite snack in space. I like cookies. I like cookies on Earth too. That's probably my favorite snack in space. We got just a small variety of cookies in space though, because they make crumbs, and crumbs they'll be floating around, and you have to clean them up.
My name is Cora. How does the space station move so fast?
So we're moving really, really fast, basically in relation to what you have on Earth. So we're moving at 17,500 miles an hour, circling the Earth every 90 minutes. And that's really fast. But what we're really doing is we're just falling past the surface of the Earth. So we're in continuous free fall as we circle the Earth. If we were going faster, we'd go higher, and it'd take longer for us to circle around. If we were a little bit slower, we'd be a little bit lower, but we'd go around the Earth a little bit quicker.
My name is Vicente, and can an astronaut be in space for 10 years?
We don't know if an astronaut can be in space for 10 years. Actually, one of our crewmates, the three crewmates who came up on the Soyuz almost a year ago, 300 days ago actually, they're going to be up here for over a year. And they will have the longest continuous ISS crew, which is pretty amazing. So we've had several people go about a year. And we'll extend that as our missions get more difficult and we get further and further a year away. I'm sure ultimately we'll find a way to allow people to stay in space for 2, 3, 4, maybe even 10 years.
My name is Remy. What happens if your spacecraft breaks down?
So they work really, really hard. They build these incredible machines, and they rarely break in the extreme. So if it breaks, we fix it. If it breaks and we can't fix it, usually there's a backup to that. So the machines we live in, the machines that get us here, the rockets, they're incredibly reliable and very safe, and they almost always have backups for anything that could go wrong that could cause us damage, and we can repair many things ourselves.
My name is Hubert. How many astronauts have been to the International Space Station?
It's almost 300 astronauts have visited the International Space Station. It's a truly international space station. We have many countries represented in that 281. That doesn't always include the people who've been here several times. I've visited the space station 3 times before I came up here and lived on board. And the number's always increasing, and it's a great place to come and visit. But I think it's about 280, 285 or so, which is a lot of human beings.
Hi, my name is Carson, and I wonder, what do you do all day in space? Do you practice your moonwalk, or do you just sit around?
No, actually, we work very hard. We work about 12 hours a day from 7:30 to 7:30, Greenwich Mean Time or Zulu time or UTC. So it's a long day, and we do a lot of work. We do a lot of research. We also have to maintain the space station, and we have to maintain ourselves. That's a big part of our time here on orbit, is doing research and just maintaining the space station. So no, we don't just kick back and practice our moonwalk, and we don't just lounge around and look out the window all day. It's a place to work and do research.
My name is Kason. What happens if you hold your breath in space?
And that's just like holding my breath on Earth. I'll do it right now for you. I could go longer, but it's going to get boring. It's just like being on Earth.
Miss Sadie, do you float in the space station?
Yeah, actually, we do float in space station. It's a microgravity environment, so let's see if I can do something real quick here and not break anything. So hopefully I'm back again.
My name is Caden, and how do you wash your hands in space?
Actually, we wash our hands basically with wet wipes. We don't have flowing water. We don't have an infinite amount of towels. So we basically use wet wipes and handy wipes to wipe ourselves. I'm looking for one around here, and I don't have one at hand. But that's how we wash our hands.
My name is Kyler. Have you ever set foot on the moon?
No, Kyler, I have not set foot on the moon. We have not been back to the moon in more than 50 years at this point, which is pretty amazing and surprising to those of us that were alive 50 years ago. We always thought we'd be back sooner, but we are. We're going back, and we do have plans. Next year we should get the Artemis 2 mission, which will take us out beyond the moon. We're not going to land on the moon on the next Artemis mission, but the one after that we should be landing on the moon, which will be really exciting. And Kyle, by the time you get the opportunity to get through school and college, maybe you'll be able to go to the moon.
My name is Aaron. Are there doctors in space?
We are very fortunate that we do have a doctor on board right now, but that's not always the case. There are many, many increments where there is not a doctor on board, and so we have medical training for basically all of the astronauts, and then we have somebody designated as a crew medical officer, and we also have these medical packs, which we were all trained on, which contains the diagnostic equipment or the medicine or even the emergency equipment. We have a pack for that as well that will allow us to treat and handle many, many medical emergencies or medical issues here on board.
My name is Aiden. What does space smell like?
Space does not actually smell like anything. It's a vacuum, so there's no real sense of that. The vehicle itself, if you go out EVA and we come back inside after a spacewalk and you fill that volume back up with air, you kind of get this metal oxide smell, and that's what people sometimes call the smell of space, which is similar to a sort of a weak welding smell. The space station itself, when you first get here, you notice the odor of the space station after 20 years of people living on board and recycling the air, and it's got its own distinct odor to it. It's really not bad. You get used to it very quickly, and then it doesn't smell like anything.
Hello, my name is Megan Candelaria, and I am the Associate Director of the Wyoming NASA Space Grant. We are so incredibly grateful to have this opportunity for Wyoming students at Big Brothers Big Sisters to connect with the International Space Station. Thanks to everyone who made this event possible, but especially to those with NASA Office of STEM Engagement and the astronauts of the International Space Station.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the event.
Thank you.
Thank you to all participants. Station, we are now resuming operational audio communications.